Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. India is the largest democratic country in the world. So, where so many people will exercise their ballot and so many people will vote in the various elections. And especially when it comes to Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections, these are considered to be the general elections. So, general elections are those elections where people will vote. But what about those people who cannot vote, on the day of the election? For that reason, there is a system called postal ballot. Postal ballot system is present in India since the beginning, where the employees who are working on this election duty, who cannot exercise their right to vote, are permitted to vote later also. Examples here. So the striking example, whenever we use the concept of postal ballot, our army people will come into picture. So right, so they are there for protecting the nation, and especially at the time of the elections also, right? So they are also playing very crucial role, right? And apart from this protecting the borders, so many other responsibilities are given. That's the reason why I see here, whenever there are floods or any catastrophe, it is the army that comes into the picture, right? So meaning, so they are trained in such a way. It is not just protecting our borders, but they also help the nation in every manner. That is the reason why entire nation is always grateful to our great Indian army, and we always salute them. I'm sorry. Now, so when it comes to this postal ballot, is what I told you. So now a new concept is being introduced that is called e-postal ballot. So what exactly is this? So through this e-postal ballot, what happens is that the returning officer of a particular constituency, so he can send the postal ballot. So the postal ballot to the voter, otherwise called elector, so who is staying outside the constituency. Let him be anywhere is working. So through this e-postal, so he can send the ballot to the concerned person, right, where that particular person can download the ballot paper from the website. But how do you make sure that the same person has downloaded? And our technology is so much today, most of you may be using something called OTP. So during this banking transactions, various transactions, the concept of OTP is very much used. One time password, right? You must be knowing this. So that OTP will be used, and through that OTP, right, so meaning that will be going to the concerned person's registered mobile number, and he or she can download the ballot paper. But after downloading the ballot paper, after casting the vote, that must be sent to the returning officer again through post, again through the postal system. So meaning, so one step has been increased towards the flexibility. But when it comes to sending back to the concerned returning officer, again it has to be done only through postal system. But otherwise, I think in the very nearest future, even sending back will also be can also be done through this electronic system, right? So as the technology is increasing and improving, it is better to utilize that technology. Otherwise, even NRIs who are present outside India, non-resident Indians, all right, so they should also be permitted. They should also be permitted to cast their vote during the elections. So that is also under very serious consideration. Maybe all these things will become a reality very very soon. But otherwise, e-postal ballot has become a reality now. That is right. For example, if you look at 2014 elections, more than 1 million people, so they have exercised their right to vote through postal ballot. Right. So during that time, through post the ballot will go there, again through post, again it will come back to the concerned returning officer. So today, and with this latest technology, you can send the ballot through electronic system. They can download it, they can cast their vote, and they have to send the ballot paper through post again. Clear? So one more step we need to move forward. So that is going to done at the very very soon. Now, so now let me open the document. Please look at this. Just a moment. Yes. Now you can see. Yes. Yes. Now, so this is e-postal ballot. Election rules of 1961 now empowers a returning officer in any constituency to send postal ballot to an eligible voter by electronic means. See here, these rules have been framed in the year 1961. Now, a change has been made in these rules of 1961, where returning officer is empowered to send the ballot to the concerned person through electronic system. Is it okay? And right, so along with that one, OTP will be sent to the concerned person, and that can be the ballot paper can be downloaded and exercise the oath, and that will be sent back through the so-called the postal system. Right? So this is with respect to e-postal ballot. Please, uh, all the people who are preparing for the civil services, or the group 1 service with respect to any state, please be very careful. You will be getting the questions on electoral reforms, and what are all the things that are present that are happening in our election system. You must be aware of this. And being and being a future civil servant, you have to be so clear and careful with your clarity ideas. What else you require with respect to making our elections more effective? Don't forget that India is the largest democratic country in the world, but even today also some people are deprived, so they are not permitted to vote. Reason may be anything, right? So kindly explore this one and think what are all the possible ways where you can strengthen our democratic system. That should be your idea. And think in many manners, in many ways, in many angles rather, so that whatever the suggestions that you are going to give you in the examination, that suggestions, if implemented, that must strengthen our election system in India. Am I clear? So these all the part of electoral reforms, right? So that's the reason why whenever we talk about any system, maybe elections, maybe economy, maybe something else, agriculture or industries or India's foreign policy, these things are never to be static. Every time it should be dynamic in nature. Though we introduce certain reforms, still some loopholes will be there. That is the reason why the state, meaning the government, has to work on that. And still, after implementation, if there are any problems, and you need to try to rectify and you need to minimize those problems. That's the reason why reforms is a continuous process. Reforms is a continuous process. Now, that's about this. Second one, I would like to speak few words with respect to India and Russia. Since beginning, Russia is considered to be one of the very, very, very important allies for India. And if you look back, to our previous former prime ministers, almost every prime minister of India said that Russia is our friend. So even today also, this is a very, very common statement that Russia is India's eternal friend. And this friendship that started after the so-called, even before the independence also, that friendship was there. Especially after India got independence, India moved very close towards this. At that time, it was called USSR. Later, it was disintegrated in the year 1991. Right. So now, so we moved very close to this. But and that strength, that relationship has continued for a long period up to the year 1991. After the disintegration of USSR, India started moving towards United States of America. And if you look at Dr. Manmohan Singh, our present Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, all right, so with these people, the relations between India and America, so they're getting strengthened like anything. And there is a view that one side we are strengthening our relations with America, and whereas on the other side, the relations with Russia are getting weakened. But India never said this, and our diplomats or our ministers every time saying that Russia is our eternal friend. Clear? Am I clear? Right. But coming closer to, right, so why this America wants to come very close to this. America has always a threat from two countries in the Asian region, that is, one is Russia, and nowadays China is also creating lots of problems. So to check these two nations, Russia, to check China and Russia, America needs the support of India. That's the reason why lots of the business improvements have been taken place between India and United States of America. And let me tell you this point. This point. Next month, there's going to be elections in United States of America, and the new president will be elected. Clear? And after the new president takes the office, the idea is that the White House sources are saying that after the new president takes office, within 100 days they want to meet the Prime Minister of India. Clear? Whether it will be Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, right? So out of these two, one person is going to become, the president of United States of America. And the latest survey says that the Hillary Clinton has got more chances, but we need to wait and watch. So meaning that shows within 100 days you want to meet the de facto head of the nation, India, right? So that shows the growing strength of India. India is one potential area as far as Asia is concerned. But what India says that India needs to maintain the balanced relations with Russia and also with the United States of America. There is no doubt that Russia has assisted India in various aspects. Maybe it is a space technology, maybe defense technology, or these nuclear reactors, right? So in every manner, Russia has supported India. Fine, but the foreign policies will change from time to time. After all, we need to strengthen our own system. That is the reason why the government of the day will take the better decisions, right? I have some points with me. I'll show you the document. Look at this. Look at this. It was USSR 1922 to 1991. Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Many of the Indian leaders said that Russia is an eternal friend of India. After the World War II, USA and USSR emerged as two powerful nations of the world. But later, in 1991, USSR was disintegrated. After that, India's relations with the USA gained prominence. Within the brackets, I have typed. Please read that. Read that one. New President of United States of America is looking forward to meet the Prime Minister of India in first 100 days after assuming the office. Right? Let it be anyone, maybe Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. They're looking to. They're looking forward to meet the Prime Minister of India. Right, look at this. But India and Russia relations are continued, and the de facto heads visits are very, very regular. Indian Prime Minister visits Russia, and the Russian President will visit India. So these are the very common things. And recently we saw that Russian President is there in India for BRICS summit. This. Russia is a strategic partner in the construction of Kundankulam nuclear reactor in Tamil Nadu. This one we have already discussed, right, very recently. So there was a considerable delay in the project on the issue of who should take the responsibility in case of accidents. There was a delay, but everything is going smoothly. Note, Up to 400 Camvo helicopters could be soon be manufactured in India through a joint venture company owned by Roseborn Export Russian Helicopters and India's HAL Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, including some of the exports to third world countries. Right. So look at this. This will be the light multi-purpose KA 226T. Now, Russia is interested to move forward along with China to block the domination of United States of America. See here, so when India is changing strategies and India is strengthening its relations with the United States of America, India has no objections. Similarly, other countries are also the sovereign nations. That is the reason why the government of the day will decide what should be our foreign policy. That's the reason why even foreign policies are also not static. Just because we were there with Russia for a long period of time, it does not mean that we'll be continuing with Russia only. Clear in the similar manner, Russia, right? So though it is very close ally of India, right? So in order to block United States of America, it seems that Russia is moving in the same lines and directions along with the China to block the domination of United States of America. So these things you need to observe very, very, this closely and clearly, right? And that's all for the day. I'll stop at this stage. I wish you all a very, very good luck and see you in the next class. Good night.